All right, so a few more things I've been doing. These squat stands are completely built now. After I shot off the video last time, I didn't actually go inside. I decided to keep working until I finished them. Now that they're finished, I put primer on them last night. I finished them 2 days ago. Went over them with wire brush, primered them, let them sit with primer for a day to make sure it was nice and dry. And now I'm painting the stands themselves red. But for the arms, the uprights of them, I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't want to paint them because I know they're just going to chip since they're sliding up and down inside that sleeve. I might just leave them bare metal and let it look all tough. I don't know. Also, I did myself a huge favor and I made, not done yet, but I made a welding cart right here. So it's not quite done, but getting closer. It's usable right now, and I've been using it. And as soon as I got it done and started using it, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh man, I should have done that the first day. Well, I finally got this set up here in the gym. Get serious. Yeah, go ahead and got this, you know, because I need it. Yeah! Got myself a drill press. Old school badass drill press. Like, oh, it looks old and beat up, but it's nice. I also, reason why I hurt my wrist, because I was being an idiot, but I also picked up this actual full-sized bench vise. I also got this bench grinder. Let me see. But that's not all. I also got, that's my hurt hand. This professional dry wet vacuum cleaner. Yes. I saw a whole bunch of them and I was actually going to grab a bigger one. I saw one that was made by Jessen, whatever that brand is. It was a real big one and it looked nice, and because it was so big I figured it was the best one they had. And the salesman was actually telling me to get this one, which wasn't like an upsell because this is actually a little bit cheaper than the bigger one I was looking at. But he was really pushing this one. He was going through the specs, he was telling me about it, he was showing me YouTube videos on his phone actually of all these ways that this can actually be modified and used for other things. Even though this was not the most expensive model, the bigger one was more expensive, he was really recommending this one. So we'll see if that was a good recommendation or not. One of the cool things is this has a pass-through feature, so I can use this vacuum to suck up like metal scraps and things from around here, but it'll actually, instead of collecting it on the internal tank, it'll have it pass through the vacuum cleaner and I can dump it into a separate tank, so that'll be nice. I am setting up. I've put some more plates on my bench here and kind of tack welded those in place. These ones on the end I've not tack welded yet because I'm actually measuring out to get precise hole placement for my bench grinder, and I wish I would have known ahead of time I was going to do that because I still have to cut this one over here for the vise. However, it's just tack welded in place, so it's going to be easy enough to cut those tack welds and then put that plate over there for the vise. But went ahead and got my square, got that all measured out perfect, and now I get to take this plate and use my new drill press. I'm leaving the hardware store now. I had started using that drill press and I realized that the bit was wobbling a little bit. I thought, Jesus Christ, don't tell me there's something wrong with this fucking drill press, like a bearing is out. And I took the drill bit off and I put my hand lightly around the shaft of the drill as it was rotating and it felt perfect, like no wobbles or anything. But it looked like my drill bit might have been a bit bent. So I checked all my drill bits and most of them are actually a little bit bent. I'm assuming it's from when I was pressing on them hard with my hand drill that then went out because the bearings were starting to wobble and throw it around. I'm guessing the high-speed wobble of the busted drill fucked my drill bits. So I bought a whole set of new drill bits specifically for my drill press. But yeah, here's a fun fact. Turns out that an entire set of Cobalt drill bits is fucking expensive. So that's a lesson learned. I installed this. I'm gonna run wiring down from the roof to put a 110 outlet here, and I installed that box over there because I'm actually gonna use that as the 220 volt outlet once I install the wiring for it. With this ridiculous fiasco I had over here. I ended up just getting a extension cord, the wall mounted type that goes here, and I pinned and ran the wiring all the way over here behind the drill press. And now on this wall right here, I've got this screwed into the wall and a little switch to flip everything on and off. This is the vacuum cleaner, my shop vac. It's next to the drill press, still plugged in because I was sweeping up yesterday. This is for the drill press itself, and this is the extension cord, the 110 extension cord. I actually have it going up the side here, up into the beam on the roof, across the beam behind the light, and then down this wall over here. And I'm temporarily using it over here as this wall's outlet source until I get this wired up. I also did split. I reused the wiring that was not destroyed to branch off of this light here and come all the way down and then hook up this bulb. That's a 240 watt bulb. So it's very bright. So now I've got the light on the top, the light on this wall, and the light over on this wall, but I'm actually gonna install some more because I want it to have lots of light in here when I need it. Oh, also, I got this little sink hooked up. So basic little metal sink, got my mechanic soap down there, water, and I've got the washer hooked up here under this cover. I was doing some laundry. And yeah, making progress. So we'll see what happens next. I did forget to mention that I not only do I have my drill press now hooked up and running and working, and my vices hooked up over here, both of them bolted to the table, but I was checking up the drill press, and this was the old belt. It just looks awful. So old worn out belt. I figured it would probably start slipping or would break or something. So went out and I found right off the shelf of the hardware store I go to, right there on the wall, they had the exact replacement I needed, and it costs like $3. So that was awesome. The handle from the drill press, because I was looking to see if I was lucky enough that they sold anything similar, but I couldn't find any off the shelf, so I'll have to make them myself. Alright, so got these 3 cut 8-inch lengths. I got each side now rounded off and ground down, so not only is it nice fresh connection for welding, but also on the other end I won't catch it and cut my finger or anything. And I've got the head of each of these bolts all ground off and ready to weld. So next step is just to weld end to end, basically like that. I was gonna cut the head off this bolt, but I decided to leave it on, so in case I ever need to put a wrench on there to tighten it, it's already got the connection for it. So I ran into a problem. I went to run these new handles in, and it turns out that this is all stripped out. So basically, instead of running the handles in like this, since it's stripped out, I'm gonna flip them over and run them in like that. And what I'm gonna do is run all 3 of them in, and the way they'll stay in is a little triangular piece. And basically, what I'm gonna do is it's gonna come across like this, and I'm gonna tack weld the tips of it in place on each one so none of them can back out and they can all torque off of each other. So not a perfect solution, but I think it's a workable solution. It turns out that what is an easy job in theory, in practice, is a horrible pain in the ass. Trying to get each of them to go in the exact right distance and also be at the right angle, while also putting this plate on there exactly centered and not tilted in any way. And then also provide a ground clamp, and then also grab the electrode and start welding while punching it with the electrode, basically trying to get it started and not knock anything out of the way. Proved to be a real pain in the ass. In the end, it's very ugly, but I finally got it done, and it does work the way it's supposed to. So thank God for that. It took a very long time. All right, got this heavy bag taken down, so that opens up the area a whole lot. Got these shop lights hanging for when I need to use those. Got to use the drill press to bore out the holes on these uprights finally. That made the whole job not only obviously more precise, but a hell of a lot easier and faster.
So I got this bench now a little bit further along. Starting to clean up these a little bit. Getting all that bird shit and rough edges off there. Got these makeshift pins put in there now, so I have to put backs on them so they don't work all the way through. So it's doing all right so far. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another one down here. 5 different levels of adjustment. I've got this back put on. It's nice and wide, so it'll give you better support than conventional commercial gym will. These are going to be the upright sections for the adjustable safety catches here. Basically, I'm going to take this exact same size tube, which is pretty damn thick. I'll have 2 different sections like this. One of this size that'll actually have the holes in it, just like the squat racks, that'll actually adjust up and down. And then there will be one about the same size that lays across the top of it like this, and it'll be able to come up and down to adjust the height of the safety catches. I'm thinking about using this as the collar that they float up and down inside of with a pin through it. So anyway, I gotta clean up my little shop area here. Sun's starting to set, mosquitoes are coming out, and I gotta go get some dinner. But that's it for today.